What's up, friends? Dave from Chase the Summit here. I've got some important news for you. If you're watching this, you are following the Chase the Summit Trail Talk podcast YouTube channel. And there's going to be some changes in the very near future that I want to make you aware of so you don't miss out on future episodes. Don't worry, the podcast is not ending. It's not going away. In fact, if anything, I'm going to be putting a lot more effort into this podcast in the coming future. So that's what I want to talk about. The long and short of it is a couple of years ago when I started this podcast, I was basically just on a microphone in my basement or attic in any spare bedroom without a camera. And I would just talk into it and make an audio version and send it out there. Sort of my way of just talking and broadcasting it to everybody for whatever reason. And along the way, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun to make these podcasts, try to do them on a weekly or monthly basis and just get some news out there or talk about my training or whatever. It's been a lot of fun. However, I've noticed that there has not been a lot of traction with the YouTube channel in general, and it made me scratch my head a little bit. Like, why did I start a whole separate YouTube channel for this podcast when I already have a YouTube channel over on Chase the Summit, the main channel where I talk about this stuff already? So in the very near future, you're going to see new episodes pop up over on the main channel, over on Chase the Summit, the one where I have more subscribers, there's more eyeballs, more views. And my hope here is just to make it more visible to more people out there that might be interested in these topics. And don't worry, if you want to go back and watch or listen to previous episodes, that's all going to be the same. I'm actually in the process right now. My computer is uploading all of the previous episodes in audio form to the main YouTube channel under the podcast tab. So if you want to find the podcast, you go to the Chase the Summit YouTube channel, you click on podcast, and that's where it's going to live. Now, on top of that big change, there's also one more change I want to mention here, and that is the podcast name. I have changed the name of the podcast mainly because I thought it was a little bit confusing. Like, it was the Chase the Summit Trail Talk podcast. From today moving forward, the podcast will now be called Distance Junkie. I thought it was just a fun name. I like distance running. I'm an ultra marathon runner, but this podcast won't only be about ultra running. We're going to cover all kinds of different sports, from endurance sports, triathletes, cyclists, whatever. I'm going to try to get more guests on and learn more about these other sports and how people apply fitness tech into those other sports. And of course, Distance Junkie will also cover all of the wearables and GPS watches and fitness tech I've previously talked about. In fact, I'm trying to come up with a clever name for a weekly episode where I just talk about all the new things or firmware updates or whatever that's happened in the past week. And I think I'm going to call it the Weekly Sync, like syncing your watch. Now, as for this YouTube channel where you're watching this video, I think I'm going to disable it and actually hide it from YouTube so there's no confusion on where the podcast lives. But I wanted to put this out there for those of you who have been following. There's like 3,800 subscribers on this channel, and I really appreciate that you hit the subscribe button, you hit the like button, you comment on the podcast. It's meant a lot to me, and I'm hopeful that you watch this and you can follow me over on the main channel where the podcast will live moving forward. Does that all make sense? In either case, just a quick video to keep you in the loop on what's going on here. I'll have all the things that you need to follow in the description down below, and it should go without saying, but if you are an audio listener, like you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever you might listen to this podcast on, your feed will actually automatically change. You're going to see the little Chase the Summit logo go away, and it will be replaced by the new Distance Junkie logo, which I just created today. Hopefully you like it. Let me know about that in the comments down below too. Hopefully this is a good move. Hopefully that means more ears and eyeballs will be listening to this podcast. And hopefully that means we can grow a community around the podcast and have some discussion in the comments down below. That's it for this one. I hope you make your way over to the new podcast, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for following. And yeah, I don't know how to end this. Okay, bye.